Let us pay respect to Luang Por. First bow, second bow, third bow. Good morning, everyone. I'm back. As we reach the last day of the retreat, I hope everybody is happy or sad about leaving. But as Luang Por has said last night, that every ending means a new beginning. And I bet it's going to be a good beginning for all of us. But as Luang Por would say, "Mai ne." Maybe Derek might come and ruin our day. No, but I believe that it's going to be a great beginning to all of us, as we have been practiced under your guidance during the past 7 days. And I believe that we have refuge in awareness. And then I believe that everybody's awareness has become more silent and more profound now with Metta Bhavana, loving and kindness. We can go back to our life with more compassion and more gratitude, thanks to Luang Por's great teachings. It's a beautiful day to end the retreat, Luang Por. May I request for your last instruction?
Hi, everyone. I enjoyed the frog talk. Right? The frogs are always discussing. I don't know what they're discussing. I don't know. But I come out after the desana and then I hear them talking. So we also talk. We talk with each other, but we also talk inwardly. Blah, 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 blah. And so there was an old song somewhere that we have just one world, but we live in many worlds. So we all have been in the same space, at least those of us here at Niranara, in the same physical space, and yet we all lived in a different world. And that inner world of our thoughts and emotions and memories and perceptions and ideas and all of that is the field of practice. It's where we learn, but also the outer affects us. So we've been affected by each other's companionship and kindness and all the folk who run this place. So the outer affects the inner, but then our inner world also affects the outer, how we respond to the environment and to the people here. And in our inner worlds are very much worlds of language, worlds of perception, worlds of thought. And I think one of the things we try to do is try to bring into our inner world stories and perceptions and language, which is beautiful. So if we chanted the Buddha's words on loving kindness this morning, and if you learn that and you do it sincerely, you get two things. One, you get a nice world. You get a very, very nice world. But also you'll find that you'll get another world being reflected back, maybe the world of the lack of forgiveness, or the world of dismissiveness, or whatever, a negative world. And that's a kind of interesting combination where you bring forth the beautiful, the sublime, the wise, which acts, as I always say, as a kind of mirror to other energies, other languages, other worlds, and to continually reference the beauty of the human condition rather than the negativity of the human condition, to reference, say, like that Metta Sutta, attitudes which are beautiful and inspiring, and yet not deny that we have a lot of unbeautiful stuff that we have to work through. It is a way of transforming our inner world. And it is a transformation which takes time, and yet it's always done in the timeless present of the way things are. So there's a kind of paradox there. Not a contradiction, I don't think. So like, let's say if I do that Buddha's words and loving kindness every morning, and I do it sincerely, and I don't just kind of, the thing about memorizing things is you can just do it, and once you can memorize it, you can think of pizzas and be, or whatever you want. You can be thinking of something else and doing the chanting. So there's this kind of sincerity necessary in bringing forth the wholesome. So let's say, for example, one decides that, okay, this would be a really lovely thing to do, because it is beautiful. I mean, those words are probably some of the most beautiful in any religious literature, that that just as a mother cares for her only child, so we should care for all sentient beings. To me, it's an extraordinary statement. And as an ideal, it's impossible. We can't do that. But as an aspiration, certainly it is possible. And as we bring forth that kind of language in a kind of meditative way, this is what should be done, and you pause and you go through the whole thing, then you're bringing in, you're creating an inner world of beauty, which then becomes a kind of possibility for not going to those other worlds, and then those other worlds begin to fade. But it's always done in the present moment. The attenuation of, or the dying away of greed, hatred, and delusion takes time. And like as I always say, the kind of fearfulness and social anxiety that I faced, it was about 20 years. And who, I had no choice. I just had to keep working at it. But I knew that was the way. It was the only way possible. And so we have, as I was saying last night, what do we have faith in? Where is your real faith? Is it in thought? Is it in judgment? Or is it in something more intuitive, I suppose? Like just saying those words, bringing forth that. It's not an opinion and not a judgment. It's a doing. So last night I was talking about skill, the skill and the training of practice. And I use that sutta a lot, those words a lot. And it's always refreshing. But also helps me say, oh, I'm holding on an opinion there, or I'm critical of that person. And okay, that's interesting. That's still being held. And little by little, then the bringing forth of the teaching in this very alive way creates an understanding of your own limitations and your own suffering. And just seeing it is the beginning of the ending of it. Just knowing anger is the beginning of the ending of anger. Knowing fear is the beginning of the end of fear, because you're no longer identified with it. You're no longer fueling it. I was using the word upadana, very good word, I find, because it means both attachment and fuel. So when I'm witnessing to states of jealousy, or I don't want to forgive, or want more cappuccinos, whatever I'm witnessing, if I just know it as it is, it's actually, that's what we mean by non-attachment. It's not a judgment about what you feel. It's just knowing it is a sankhara, it is an object, not me, not mine, and to trust in that. To trust in that, you will see, and I think we've all seen, that these things do fall away. That which is conflicted and difficult in our inner lives. So as you go away from here, what do you have faith in? Do you have faith in experience? Well, Luang Por would say "Maine," right? But do you have faith in awareness of experience? That you can do, nanon, right? There is nanon. There is confidence, there is clarity, that is possible. And hopefully that's what one of the things this retreat has been possible for us to continually reflect upon. For myself, I feel incredible gratitude. I mean, I'm so grateful to be here, not just for the cappuccino, not just for the warm weather, but more for the friendship. And for me, when my mother was, I was with her for so many years, she'd often say, I can't do anything for you. I can't take care of you. I said, well, You wiped my bottom for years. You took care of me. She said, yeah, but it's not the same. I want to take care of you. And in our lives, we need both people to, we need to be cared for, but we need to care as well, don't we? It has to be this two-way thing. So I wouldn't be able to express Dhamma if it wasn't for you. And then I can kind of contemplate my own, because I learn, every retreat I learn, because I have to express this now. You know, I have to try to express what I think I know through words. And then the challenge is that clear? Do I really understand that? Is that just an opinion? And then I have to kind of look back into myself and then find some mode of expression. So there's a lot of learning in teaching, a lot of learning. I think anyone who's been a teacher has seen that, has seen how that works. So by you being patient with me and giving this opportunity, I have a chance to both learn about myself, but also have the joy of sharing, because I am a child of the Isan. You know, that's where I was born, as it were, and so then a child of Thailand, and I was thrown out of my crib at the age of 4. They sent me to England, and I never really got back for long periods of time. But it's interesting how deeply rooted my love of this whole culture is, because of those formative years of being a young monk, and how many good values came from that, from being with this whole cultural aspect of Buddhism, and the generosity of people, and so many other things. So to come back, I mean, I'm amazed that I'm teaching in Thailand, really. I mean, I never imagined, I never thought, because I thought, well, I don't know how to speak Thai, and no one invites me. So off I go. And then Yongpun and the angels invited me, and here I am. So so it's a kind of new dimension in my life. This sort of, and also teaching in Malaysia and Singapore, teaching in Asia, and people who have a good command of English, obviously. So it's one of the many things, of course, I enjoy about teaching in Thailand or Malaysia or Singapore and Asia is this the understanding of what a monk is, right? And what our relationship is of monastic people to lay people. Of course, in the West, we don't have a tradition of Buddhist monasticism, and barely a tradition in North America of Christian monasticism. And that's been very troubled, actually, had a very troubled kind of history. So to come into a culture where I don't have to explain myself, right? And we just know, we know the rituals and we know how to do that. It's lovely. And I think what's happening through these Zoom sessions is people from cultures which aren't Buddhist, who don't have that cultural background, they're beginning to see, oh, this is how a Buddhist culture relates to a teacher. I think that's a very good education. I think they're very grateful. How could Westerners know if they've never really seen that? And so I think what's happening, I hope, is a kind of refinement of the whole Buddhist culture through the inputs of folk in Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. It's interesting kind of way to be doing this. So I will be returning to the land of snow and ice, and you will be following me. And but the kind of warmth in my heart from this experience obviously will radiate for quite a long time, probably till next year. And so, yeah, thank you for I know monks aren't supposed to say thank you, but I can't help it. I'm a Westerner. I wish it was the Anamotana, right? Which Anamotana. But yeah, much gratitude to you for your kindness and for your listening. Okay, I'll leave it there.